it.
I got a question there. And you probably gonna look at me like, what the hell? But listen, do you think Tekken 8 is gonna have side steps?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, for real? On guard? Just like that?
Oh boy, is that even counted? Yeah. Oh my God!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the Mini Yaya podcast. I guess I don't know. I haven't came up with a name with it, but I'm here with the one and only, the talented and amazing KawaiiFaceMiles. Hey, there you go.
Hey, I'm here.
She's looking. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm here. I'm about to be doing some Fang Wei, like, you know, when he Millie rocks and Millie rocks my opponents out of here. Hey, y'all, what's up?
All right. All right, we started off jog already. But first question I want to ask, get right into it. I want to ask, how do you feel about Tekken 7 right now? Like, if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 through 10, where would you put it? You could be as honest as you want. Like,
Okay. I would probably rate it about a 7.
A 7?
Living up to its name.
Okay.
Only because, like, if we're gonna take out the factor that the netcode is absolute garbage,
Right.
I'm gonna take out the fact that I'm gonna also contribute it to the fact that there is, like, literally no clear way for beginners to actually, like, get into the game. There's no
Right.
like actual tutorial. There's no like, I think the biggest thing that kills Tekken from a casual standpoint, to be like a gateway fighting game for like into more competitive realm is the fact that there is literally no tutorial on how to play the game or how to do any of the mechanics. Like, everything is all content that we put out, like players put out onto the internet for people to consume, and like, that's okay and everything, but at the same time, it's just like, it would be nice that if this game had had at least some semblance of like a like tutorial mode. I think a tutorial on how to use the practice mode would be good.
Yeah.
For people who are first starting to get into it, I think, you know how like Street Fighter has like those character like combo stuff,
trials.
Like, you know how, their trials. I think they should have that. Like, I just think they just need a little bit more for the game to be more accessible to just the average player.
Because so I guess you were one of those people that were like very pissed when like you're like, hey, you gotta pay for this frame data because it just makes it harder to get that information, right? Or did you just like?
I mean, I didn't really care, but because like I just bought all the DLC for the game to like regardless, and it wasn't really something I was worried about. But I can see where a lot of people's frustration came from, where they're like, oh, this should be included, and I'm just like, you know what, you're right, like this should be included from day one. You know, whether or not casual players know how to read it or use it or something like that, I still think it's a tool that deserves to be in the game from the jump. Like, it's not something that a lot of people kind of like, they don't really believe that a lot of this stuff, like, what's the word I'm trying to say,
matters in a way.
Yeah, like, it kind of, but I feel like it's taken for granted. A lot of these tools are taken for granted because, like, of course, Guilty Gear has, you know, an extensive tutorial. They've got, you know, all that extra stuff with it. I think they have frame data in their game.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And I think also Street Fighter does as well.
Street Fighter 6 definitely has it. Yeah, it's in a beta.
Yeah, so it's just like, now that that's becoming the new standard. Yeah, the new norm and the new standard. Like, I'm glad that fighting games are getting to that area, but I think the new standard probably should have started from the beginning of this generation of fighters, you know?
I think their biggest issue why they're kind of just starting to get along in places, streamline, like, it took forever for them to get into a certain mode, and the people that have been playing them so long have a very hard time seeing why are they changing these games like this, because they think people won't play them at all. You know, there's this stigma that like people like casuals not gonna learn the stuff anyway. They're just gonna hit buttons. So why take it away from those players? But I'm a big fan of, personally for me, I'm a fan of Super Smash Brothers, and the reason why is like, yeah, that game has a whole bunch of different stuff going on with it, but it's easy to play, but it's very hard to master. And I think Tekken's like that, but there's a barrier to get to that level. Like right now, I've been getting into it because I actually like making I didn't realize this till like 2 weeks ago that I actually like making Tekken content, because it's something for me that I should have been doing it long time ago, but I just never thought about it because I was just infatuated with BlazBlue and Arc System Works. But I know that like like side story, my granddad, I got into fighting games because the first fighting game he showed me that he loved was Tekken when he was little, and now I just feel like, all right, I feel like I feel like it's like the mantle. I gotta push that agenda in some kind of way with me, and now I'm realizing how much I actually enjoy it. I always loved watching the tournaments. I love watching you, Kodacore, everybody. So it's like, might as well just get into it. If I don't like it, then I just do something else, you know. But I do think you are right about the Tekken barrier, because literally I was trying to learn how to do Korean backdash because I'm on Hitbox now, and and I'm sitting there like, all right, this can't be that hard. And like I was going through it, I was like, every tutorial, there's like some tutorials, right? And you got the one that's probably really good. Everybody keeps linking me the JDCR tutorial, and for a minute I forgot YouTube had captions. But like I don't speak that language, so I can't like learn from his tutorial. And it's like, if they would have put these in the game, we would have been lit. The real reason I kind of remember Tekken Tag 2 is because of the combat thing. I remember that vividly because it was pissing me off, but I was learning some basic stuff playing it at least. And I think here Tekken is just like, we're gonna, like, when they added the combo things, the easy access to combos, I guess their philosophy is casuals gonna want to do the cool stuff anyway, so let's just give them access to the cool stuff instead of teaching them how to play the game. I feel like that's kind of backwards, but
it reminds me of the way that like so when Fortnite took out build mode, right, and it was non-build mode, I downloaded Fortnite and I decided to actually play it. So I played it, but the problem is that when I was playing online, the first like 5 or 10 matches that I did, I think you have, there's like a threshold that you have to pass. You have to do 10
matches.
Yeah. So once I finished that threshold, all of a sudden I was playing with like regular people, and like it went from, oh wow, I'm like kind of decent to this game, to like, never mind, like I'm actually garbage. And it's because literally they were putting me in bot games the entire time, and it's just like, well, I mean, I appreciate the confidence boost, but like that doesn't help me out. Like, how am I supposed to get a feel for how this game actually plays if like you're not allowing me to like play people who also play this game? Like, it just doesn't make sense, you know?
My thing with Fortnite is I've always been a Fortnite fan. I hate building, right? I'm a big person that doesn't like I don't hate it. I hate that I can't. It really is. It's just I can't do it. I never learned how to do it, especially on controller. And the fact that somebody explained, I can't remember who it was, but somebody wrote it down to me like in combo notation. And that's when I learned it, like, because I was just doing it on command, but I can only do it one way. But again, like, when they took away the building, I came to realize to myself, I was like, damn, people can't aim, they could just build. So that's where I knew I excelled. Like Fortnite, when that season, I finished that battle pass just because I realized, like, oh, people can't actually build, and without building, they kind of suck in most cases. So I'm like, okay, I finished that battle pass in about like 10 days. I've never finished the battle pass that fast because it was just free for me. Plus, I had people that been playing Fortnite since season 1 and season 2. So it's like, I had a different experience, and I know a lot of people don't like the bot idea in video games because bots can either be way too easy or they could be cheaters and then block everything, and now you're just frustrated. So
Yeah,
I get that.
and I think that falls in line with like how you're talking about like the easy combos or and stuff like that. How they have the access to the easy combos.
Mm-hmm.
Like you aren't. I mean, it's a good idea, but it's not implemented well because you're allowing people to get this false narrative that they're doing something, and then they run
Right.
into someone who actually knows what they're doing, and then it's like, boom,
I'm
you're
turning
done.
this
Like,
off.
have I touched Fortnite since then? No. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like if I'm gonna play a battle royale, I'm gonna play the better one, which is
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
For me, it's Apex Legends. I'll play the better one, in my opinion.
That hurt my soul.
I'm sorry. I just, when it comes to battle royales,
No, I know.
Apex Legends,
I know.
like the movement. The movement reminds me of Tekken with the way that that it's very heavily movement based. I like the tacticals.
Okay.
And with Fortnite, I enjoyed it, but that
No, I will say
turned me off.
I will. Okay, so you probably know Shinkinsuo, but he says the same thing, and I'm like, we just talked about it last night. We were like, he's like, yo, KFL's dope. He's like, you should listen to her. She like Apex, and I'm like, y'all gonna leave me alone about Fortnite. He's like, y'all gonna leave me alone about Fortnite.
Like, all right, I'm doing something that is very similar in terms of like thinking, but like it's two different games. So for me, it's a good break from each other. I use one and the other to like take breaks from.
Okay.
But the whole aspect of this easy combos and stuff like that, like it's a good idea. I'm just hoping that they implement it a little bit better in Tekken 8. I just want to see a good tutorial mode because here's the thing is like, and then I know someone's gonna probably argue the fact that if they add a tutorial mode explaining how to do stuff, then content creators don't have any content to make. Wrong, because the way that things are explained in the game, it may help someone, but maybe someone doesn't understand it. As they don't understand the concepts the same way as if you were to sit down and like actually talk to someone about it or make a video about it, like where you're talking about it.
Yeah. So I know. I tell every creator this, and this goes to you too. Don't feel like just because you made something late or you're not on time, it won't help somebody out there, because everybody has a different way of expressing, explaining, and entertaining people. So like for example, there's like 30 different Korean backdash tutorials on YouTube, and the best one I seen was the one that I can't understand. So now I have to try to blend the information between both people to like, all right, looking at the hand and looking what you need to do, what you should be pressing, what you should not be pressing. So,
I mean, speaking of, don't worry, because I have been working on my own Korean backdash tutorial to put on TikTok, because it was requested by people in my TikTok live to make a tutorial on Korean backdashing. But the only problem I'm having is I don't know how to get footage recorded from my iPhone onto my computer. So once I figure that out, I
got you. You should. I got you. So, what are your thoughts on Tekken 8 so far? Like, how you feel about the mechanics? I know people have been doing posting. I know.
I am excited. I feel like I'm probably out, and it was everything you need to know about Tekken 8.
Right.
And I feel like I was probably the only like content creator who like positively, even though I did clickbait it a little bit with like my thumbnail, I made it seem like I was like heat system or whatever. Like, I feel like I'm probably the only one who is positive about everything,
right?
Because I genuinely love the direction it's going.
Right.
I love that they're doing something different. I love that they're trying to figure out a way to make the games quicker. I love the fact. So I'm an old person. I'm 30. So, but the thing is that when it comes to my biggest issue with Tekken 7 is like I did not know how to adjust to the fact that the new meta right now is being aggressive.
Right.
So when I try to be aggressive, it just doesn't work out. So I'm like, oh, I have to just play the way that I play, because honestly, this is the playstyle that works for me. This is the playstyle that I like to play at, and I have to just adapt.
Right.
And this newer system is like, I'm aware of how it's going, and I'm like, okay, I know what's happening. I know what's gonna come to us. So all I have to do is just adapt to it. Like, it's just gonna be super aggressive. I gotta make sure that I'm utilizing all the tools that I have, and I'll be okay. I'll be solid. I'll be golden. And it's just like, I'm just genuinely so excited. The heat system looks really sick. I think the idea about it is super sick. I think the graphics for this game look beautiful.
Oh, that blows me when people are like, this game looks ugly. And I'm like, how? Like,
I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I'm just so convinced that, like,
people just don't like these.
I'm just so convinced that, like, every community is so dark-sided and hateful. Like, you just have those people who are just perpetually just so hateful about everything.
Yeah.
It's like Pokemon. I'm a very simple person when it comes to Pokemon. You put out a Pokemon game, I'm gonna buy it regardless, because I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Like, I'm playing the game and I'm enjoying what I like about Pokemon. But then you still have everyone else who's just like, they buy the game to complain about it, and it just doesn't make sense to me, because it's just like,
it's easy to clout farm off of it. Like, to be honest,
But if you really think about it, why would you want a community of people who just hate everything? Like, that is such a negative thing. Like, that is so boring and so tiresome. So it's just like, I can understand legit concerns about the direction that the game is going, but I cannot understand just straight dumping on this game.
Yeah, we haven't played it yet.
Yeah, we haven't played it. We don't have enough. We honestly just, the content that we just got from TWT is like, there's so much going on in there that, like, I'm surprised I haven't seen people make, like, you know, hour-long videos breaking down everything that they saw in that one. It's so funny. It's so funny, though. It's so funny. The minute trailer that we got or whatever, when they announced June at the Steam Awards or whatever, that minute trailer, everyone's making hour-long content. But now that they gave us like 45 minutes to an hour of content of them talking about stuff, no one want to talk about it, because we can't speculate now, because it's all here now. Like, we can't, like, they explained it, so we can't just make shit up. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. You know, and there's a lot of people who are going through it and, like, discussing it and, you know, offering insight and explaining things, and I appreciate that, because it's like, we need more people talking about this stuff. We need more people talking instead of complaining. As much as I do love the fact that they want to do more, like, beta tests, like, on site at, like, tournaments and stuff like that, but at least they can have beta tests online. Like, do closed beta online where you select people, or give us an open beta or something where it's like,
it was weird. It was weird hearing that they're doing that, because this was an alpha test. So regardless, anyway, like, I don't think the online's ready, right? Because I think, since people that don't know Arika, that's the team that did Fighting EX Layer. That netcode is godlike. And my theory right now, which I haven't talked about, but I might as well talk about it here, I think Tekken 7 is going to probably get actual better rollback, and they're going to have a beta test for that. And whatever happens from that beta test conclusion will be implemented and fitted into Unreal Engine 5 for Tekken 8. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think they're just not ready for that, but they want people to just play the gameplay and see how they feel about it right now.
Well, it's the same thing, because, like, you know, what got me into competing was the fact that I knew that they were going to do Tekken 7 live. Like, the only way you could play Tekken 7 in America was you had to go to EVO in 2015, and that's why I went. Is specifically so I can play Tekken 7. I wanted to play it. And it's like, I want to play Tekken 8, but it's kind of unfortunate otherwise that it was going to be at EVO Japan, because otherwise I would have planned to go. I've been wanting to go to Japan. I've been wanting to go to EVO Japan. So it was kind of unfortunate that it was so short notice, but I'm happy for the people that are able to go and able to enjoy the game. I'm excited to hear where we're gonna start getting more tests like at tournaments, because I want to go, I want to travel, I want to go do tournaments again, and I do really hope that they do at least an at-home beta test like they did for Street Fighter 6. Honestly, they should take a lot of notes from how Street Fighter 6 is handling their release, because right now Street Fighter 6 is doing a fantastic, phenomenal job with how they are marketing this.
And a lot of people see, and I'm happy you're saying that, because from the Street Fighter perspective, or just people that don't know how this stuff works, a lot of people are annoyed kind of with Street Fighter 6 for the simple fact that like not too much is happening. Like Capcom Cup, they came out and said a couple of days ago, no new character. Right? Yeah. I took an L for once because I was like, 9 times out of 10, there's probably gonna be a new character at Capcom Cup. But they was like, we're not ready. So I didn't take the L. Just something happened, right? And a lot of people ain't really good with delays and feeling a certain way when your hype is too high. You get disappointed with delays. But people forget with Street Fighter 6, it got leaked. All the characters and stuff got leaked. So they got to do stuff completely different from any other fighting game release. You know? So it's like...
not everyone could be like, not everyone could be Bandai Namco.
Right.
They keep their leaks on lock. They don't be playing around.
Right.
But I think, I think the way that Street Fighter 6 is like handling this release and how they have been marketing it so far is such a 180 from how they did Street Fighter 5. And I feel like Street Fighter 6 is about to breathe the freshest air back into this franchise. And it's gonna be a whole new direction. The cast of characters they're so well done. They're so well done. I have never fallen in love with such like new faces right off the bat as much as I have with Street Fighter 6. I love Kimberly, I love Manon, I love Marissa, all of them. They have such a good cast of characters. DJ looks great. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time I kind of was like, dang, I might have to play DJ.
Yeah, I want to play Street Fighter 6. Like, I want to play it, and when it comes out and everything. But it's just, I think the way that they handled the information for Street Fighter 6, even above the memes of like the logo and like the cover art and stuff like that. I still think the direction that they took Street Fighter 6 from Street Fighter 5 is they're doing it all right. They're hitting all the green check marks as they're going. They're just doing it flawlessly and smoothly. And I think if Tekken 8 wants to kind of follow into their strong footsteps, I feel so far they're doing pretty good. They're giving us a lot of information. They're giving because I mean, when it came to Tekken 7, like information about Tekken 7 was very far and few between, right? So now with Tekken 8 coming into the thing, because at the time Tekken 7 was very big in the arcades, because arcade scene is very big in Japan. Well, a lot of those arcades are shut down because not a lot of people are going to them. So now with Tekken 8, we're getting more information. Like we got the announcement trailer, then we got the reveal trailer with the story reveal trailer, and then we got this super long explanation about the heat system that everyone was crying about. We got the super long explanation of like how the 3D terrain is going to work, how the battle mechanic is going to work. They even explained the newer implementations they're using for the new for new players, and what they're doing to still keep it the same Tekken for people who are more experienced in the game. So it's just, they gave us a lot more information that they haven't done before in other releases, and I'm appreciative of that. And I'm just gonna put this out there. Nina looks great. Everyone is sipping on haterade right now. People hate her. They hate this design so much, and I don't care. I think she looks great, but I love the jacket. I love the bob. I love the glasses. I love the fact that she uses guns. She looks so cool.
Bro, people have been memeing like, oh, She looks like what's her name, Cassie Cage or Sonya from Mortal Kombat now, and it's so funny because like I see it, but like come on, y'all can stop reaching. You can stop. You can chill out a little bit.
I think she looks so
she looks good to me. Yeah.
Like the gameplay that they showed of her is just so cool, and it perfectly encapsulates what Tekken 8 is gonna be about. It's gonna it's showing how they're actually changing these characters and changing their fighting styles to sort of just like they're trying to like marry the new fighting style into the new system. They're taking these old characters and showing them in newer ways, fresher ways.
I guess what you're trying to say is they're trying to put more characteristics from the characters into the movesets that work with Tekken 8 system. Okay.
I think it's weird. I think it's weird that people were like, "Oh, what are the guns for?" Like, she's an assassin. Hello.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to bring out a sword? Y'all want it to be Soul Calibur? Y'all gonna be pissed if it's Soul Calibur. She gonna be poking you mid-screen. You gonna be pissed.
It's crazy, and like, and I know, and that's also a valid concern too. Is the fact that people are like, "Oh, this is turning into a weapons-based game or whatever," and it's like, no, I don't think it is. Like, I think they added character choices for specific characters. Like Law has the nunchucks, and Nina has her guns, but like their whole gameplay doesn't revolve around using this and only using their weapons. Like they're still fighting, they're still doing their core moves that are signatures to the characters. They're just adding a little bit more pizzazz to make it more appealing to like the masses who are watching. Because not everyone's gonna sit there and appreciate. And even then, Harada-san specifically already stated, yes, there's gonna be sidestepping. There's gonna be the 3D element. This is a 3D fighter. Sidestepping is gonna be a thing, regardless. No matter what is happening, you are going to be able to still sidestep and avoid attacks the way that is intended.
It was even in the breakdown. Paul did a sidestep. I was like, there you go.
Yeah, it's just like they're still sidestepping. I think it's weird to like. I think it was so weird when the first thing people saw a 1-minute trailer and they're just like, oh, no sidestepping. I'm like, what? Like, how do you get that? Like, what bionic eyes do you have that you're able to like break down this information and read through the pixels? Like, how do you see that
from a trailer?
Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm watching this and I'm excited about like how it looks and everything, but everyone's like, oh, at like, this like at like minute 1, like second 3 at the millisecond of 2.6 or whatever, you can see there's no sidestepping. I'm like, what? Like, where did this precision come from?
Yeah, where did this come from? Maybe because they didn't show it. People also forget when they do these gameplay trailers, the goal of a trailer is to get
the flash.
It's the flash, the spectacle, all that shit. So even you could tell like there's some scenes even in like the Game Awards trailer where I think it's like Kazuya counter hits him. That's a specific angle made from them, like in recording, right, for the trailer. And a lot of people don't get that. People write off trailers like it's the whole game, but that's really the case nowadays. Like very rare. Like what you see from the trailer may not even be the best part about the game.
Yeah, it's just like the trailer is that. It's supposed to get people interested in the game.
Now I gotta ask this question, because we kind of talked about this before at one point, right? Alright, so my favorite character in Tekken is Christie, okay? So, look at the disappointment.
It's not the fact that she's your favorite. It's the fact that they did her so dirty with her story.
Yeah.
I just hate the fact that they revolved her entire story around Eddie.
Yes. Last question I want to ask, and this might be a doozy, but how do you feel about, I know we briefly touched on it, but how do you feel about the future of Tekken with Tekken 8? Do you think it's going to grow even bigger? Do you think it can get even smaller? It all depends when the game comes out, but like, how do you feel about?
It's gonna grow. It's
Yeah.
gonna grow so big. It's gonna grow bigger. The Tekken community is gonna grow bigger than what it is currently. Like right now, people probably feel that the Tekken community is very like stagnant. Like,
Yeah.
there's not much going on. And I have to tell them, I have to tell the people who believe that Tekken is not, there's nothing going on with Tekken, that they need to make a TikTok account and start posting Tekken content. There are so many Tekken fans on that app alone who don't regularly regulate Twitch, and they're all on TikTok. There's so many people on there, and that you're literally missing out on a whole community of people. There's millions of people on that app, and there's millions of people who specifically want Tekken content. The number one request I get is more Tekken content. People want Tekken content on TikTok grow. Tekken 7 was such an exponential kickoff. Tekken 7 like ran this whole generation of fighters.
Yeah,
Tekken 7 was the top dog. Completely
it's funny.
surpassed Street Fighter.
It's funny that you say this because I recently was talking about it with a friend, and I hate using Steam charts to justify something, but we gotta talk about Tekken, right? Tekken on Steam charts has always been around 4,000 to 6,000 players a lot, right? And you look at that compared to other fighting games of now, most of them have like 1,000. So Tekken is like a little above, and within the niche, it's top dog. Like it's like up there. That what's so impressive about Tekken, that's a 2015 game. People playing in 2023, right? I mean in arcades, but 2017 is when it released. Regardless, the point still stands. It's been a thing for almost a decade. We dang near there, and it's still going on, and it's still growing and making sales. There's like less than 1%, if not Tekken only, making these numbers. So that's great to hear that. That's great to see that you have that the similar perspective as me, as a person that's getting into it versus a person that plays it almost every day at one point.
Yeah,
so
it's just, this Tekken 7 was the mark of a shift in fighting games. And Tekken 7 was the mark of that change in the community to where it was no longer a niche community. We officially have opened up the gates of the fighting game community to casual people to get better at these games, and we welcomed in so many, like Tekken 7 brought in so many fresh faces into the community where Tekken 7 is that people's first fighting games.
Right.
A lot of like seasoned players forget the fact that Tekken 7 is a lot of people's first fighting game. This is their very first fighting game. And that feat in itself to hold them into this franchise off of this one game, because most of the time people just fall off of a franchise after a while.
Right,
they just don't play it anymore. But that I think Tekken 7 just had something very powerful about itself that really changed this era of fighting games that came out. It set the standard for everything to come out past that. And since then, people took that standard, Strive, Grand Blue versus all Eunice and all those. I think Eunice is probably out way before that, but maybe around there. But but like
I get the point.
Standard, that whole standard of future releases, everyone leveled themselves up to get themselves onto that level. Tekken set the bar, and right now it looks like Street Fighter is setting the bar for this next generation. However, that could change because Tekken hasn't released. Yeah,
we ain't got all the information yet.
Exactly. But so far, Street Fighter is taking the reins and becoming the pioneers for this next generation. And they're doing a lot of right stuff. And I'm hoping that Tekken 8 can also kind of pull onto that. But the most important thing, like I said, is if we're going to be giving our opinions out there, it's cool to put your opinions out there. It's also cool to meme. It's also fun. It's funny to be dramatic and stuff like that. But when we're really going to sit down and talk about the game and stuff like that, like, don't just unnecessarily dunk on it. Like, if there's something you don't like, provide a solution. Provide why you don't like it. Provide what you're not liking, and then provide a solution. Put your thoughts out there, because
the three W's.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to say what you don't like, say why you don't like it, and say what you're proposing to fix it. And when you put those thoughts out there, people, it may seem easy to be like, well, my opinion doesn't matter. fair because there's millions of people out there. However, we are the core drivers. The community are the core drivers of this game. The success of Tekken 7 would not be where it's at without the community, without the content creators, without the pro players. We made Tekken 7 bigger and more accessible to a lot of people who never played fighting games. And for us to continue that trend, we have to keep in mind of what we're doing and what we're saying online outside of just being funny, and provide actual
insight
and feedback. Because believe it or not, they, like I said, Michael Murray and Harada-san, they watch all our stuff. They watch everyone's content.
Right.
They absorb this information, and they are genuinely listening to everything that we are putting out there. And if you're trying to get your point across, get your point across. Get your point across of what you want fixed and what you want changed, because they'll listen. But if you're gonna dunk on it and you're gonna unnecessarily like trash everything that they're working so hard on, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna listen, and they're not gonna fix what you want fixed. And it's just you got to present yourself in a very, you know, in a good way. There's a fine line between being extremely negative and being humorous. You can be humorous and still get your point across. And I think we have to keep that all in mind. If everyone's going to be if there's anything that people can take away,
be nice, be insightful.
Around this podcast, I think the biggest thing, if you're gonna go back and make your own Tekken 8 content, whatever the case is, if you're gonna make some memes, fine. Make some memes, be nice, have fun, clickbait. If you clickbait your stuff, that's fine. It's YouTube. That's how things work. But at the end of the day, if you have alarming criticisms that you want addressed and you want to see a change in, remember to think about what is the problem you're having, why you feel this way, and what you can do, and then propose a solution. Right. Because that's the
only way you're gonna make the game better. At least if you're passionate about it, it's best to just be straightforward and give out constructive criticism than being toxic about it. I'm not gonna lie, I've learned this recently, because I come from the arena fighter space. And I get so mad because I want to host tournaments for these games. I want to do these events and stuff like that, especially Naruto and stuff like that. But they don't have lobbies or tournament mode, and it's just oh my god. And I get so frustrated because I've been putting it out there, but in that community, since it's a younger audience, they're buying it. They don't care about the product. They care about who's on the product. And so therefore, there's a disconnect with me where I kind of am whatever right now with that, with those gays. But if they come along and I like it and it's at least of standard, I'm happy. But I think that's the best thing that needed to be stated, though. You put a big thing into perspective. There's a way. It's not about what you say all the time. It's really about how you say it. Michael Murray and Harada-san, they can take jokes. They're not they're not uptight like people sometimes try to make it out to be on Twitter and stuff like that. They can take jokes, they can take a meme and stuff like that. But if you're gonna genuinely criticize, the product and the direction of the game is going, especially in this development, criticize it. If you're gonna criticize it, propose a different change to it. You can't just sit here and I mean, you could sit here, but you're not being productive if you're just thinking about everything. If there's something you genuinely don't like, if you don't like the heat system, why don't you like the heat system? And what would you change about the heat system? What is something that you would like to change about it to make it a bit better or more enjoyable experience? And put that out there, because they listen. They genuinely listen to our community. They love this community so much, and they listen to all of us. So it's just you just gotta, if you want the change, be the change. But you need to be the change that you want to see. Yeah.
Have fun while you're doing it. Make sure your point is very clear when you're putting out that content. Because I'm sorry. I watch a lot of Tekken content. I watch a lot of Tekken content creators, and I love watching Tekken content creators. I think it's so fun to watch. But there's always those few where I run into I watch a lot of people's stuff, and I'll watch a lot of specific content creators. But there's always those specific content creators I'm watching where out of nowhere they just completely like
turn negative. Yeah.
Yeah, they fork off of their point that they're trying to make, and then at that point I'm lost. I'm just like, okay, so you're just hating something just to hate on it. Like you're not actually being.
It's like a middle ground, and they're like, yeah, this is trash. I don't care no more. And it's like
again, it brings it back to the whole sidestepping's gone.
Yeah.
What? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I feel that. I personally try to do the middle ground where like, hey, I may not like what this is right now. However, I see the positives because like I'm a firm believer of there's two sides to every story. And I think hearing both first and making a decision in most cases, this doesn't apply to everything, but in most cases should be looked upon, right? And I think that's how I make my content. That's something that I personally pride myself of, if anything, that I could look at everything from all angles. I may not be, you know, the pro in the game or things of that nature, but I can tell you why on a casual level and what I see based on Twitter and comments why people hate it, and I could put it into words. So, yeah, I don't want to hold you up no more. I know you're kind of tired. No, you were getting into it. I was like, all right, she getting.
It's a very necessary conversation to like, you know, bring up, because I feel like people don't ever bring this stuff up. Like it's very much a this is how I feel and this is how I feel. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. And it's like, well, you have to be open to listening. You have to be open to, if you don't like something and you
gotta
feel
say it.
a better way to do stuff, say it. Just say it and propose a difference in how the game and how you think the game should work. Because there could be other people that agree with how you want, how you think things could be better ran. And if you're not putting out the how, then how are you gonna have people that want that same change? They're not having someone speak for them, because you know, not everyone can sit here and like record stuff and put out their opinions. It's scary, especially on the internet. But you know, if you have the power to do that, and you have the power to make a video, put it on the internet, or put out content on your stream or whatever the case is, do it. But just make sure you're saying something. You know. Yeah. It's cool to have jokes, but just make sure you're saying something on top of it.
You gotta have a message. You gotta have a purpose beyond the message. And
yeah.
So that's it. Dang, you kind of made me happy about something like outside of this. Yeah. But I will say, thank you for coming on today for this video. I've been trying to get on content for a minute. We got a bigger project I'm planning on. It's just the reason why people that don't know. Yeah, I'm a Vitrix gang. Shout out to Vitrix now. So, hey,
my old stick.
Yeah, but yours all customized. Mine plain, so I'm gonna get on there. But yeah, so I'm gonna tell everybody right now. Please go follow KFM KawaiiFaceMiles on TikTok and YouTube. Her links and stuff will be in the description down below. More likely, I have the privilege to now
I've been the devil, I need me an arc in the water. I'm breathing, I feel like Tanjiro. Walking this bitch with a Zapata while she rocket, I keep me a domino. Bitch, on my dick, man, I feel like Kazaki. Stretching that pussy out like it's Pilates. I'm dashing the soul right out of her body. Fire, I spitting, I feel like Dobby. White bitch, blonde hair, looking like Lucy. She from Kyoshi, I paint her face Suki.